Good day. From Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, this is Madden NFL 21. We'll see Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals.
We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Levi's Stadium tunnels, and the noise level in this place was deafening. They're set for football as the 49ers get ready to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. To get things going, and we are underway from Santa Clara. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 up to the 33. Here come the Cardinals, and it is Kyler Murray from Oklahoma who leads them out.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Murray. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. The 49er offense about to go to work, and it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Charles, at quarterback.
When Jimmy Garoppolo came out of Eastern Illinois, many people saw a strong-armed guy, well-schooled in the passing game, who needed a little bit of time to develop and reach his potential. Starting to go in that direction right now. A former linebacker in high school, he plays the game with a lot of toughness.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
On 2nd down, Mostert. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 13 yards there and a Niner first. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert, and he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Here's Mostert. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Niners have taken the early lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. On the return, Andy Isabella. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Isabella on the return. The Cardinals take over 1st and 10. At their own.
So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
You could tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again. Murray. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's an 11-yard pickup. Thought they'd run it on 3rd and 1. Not the case.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Murray going to run play action with Drake and look to throw it toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Murray. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Gain of 15.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing again, Murray. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. The Nick Bosa so quick on the outside. He gets in there to bring him down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Another try after the first down sack. Murray caught left side. Williams. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake, and he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
From here, this would have been a 48-yarder, but no, they're going to go for it. They're going for it. Hits Murray. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It was Eric Armstead fighting his way through that time to record the sack. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game. That they've got to match them point for point, as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack.
And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball,
leader, right?
to make a big play.
Yeah.
Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Garoppolo looks to throw, and they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
On first down, Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. 3 yards the gain there, second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Garoppolo going to get this off to Mostert. Now he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Deep for the Cardinals, Christian Kirk. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin them inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A first carry for the Fordham Ram, Chase Edmonds.
Result of the play is safety.
And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. On the return, it's James. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Mostert, the ball carrier.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Mostert. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Cards are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The football going back over to Arizona now. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, Drake. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the 1st quarter. After one, it's 9-0.
With the score, Niners 9, Cardinals nothing.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Fitzgerald. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 7. And this is 3rd down.
Murray a give. This is Drake. And this is going to be a Cardinals 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Brought down at the 45-yard line.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run with Drake. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Murray sliding out of the pocket. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Murray. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First down, Murray. He'll buy some time right. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 and a 1st.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. Short of the goal.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try again with Drake. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And they're back within a couple at 9-7 now. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the exclamation mark at the end was Kenyon Drake's touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Mostert. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A play fake from Mostert. Now Garoppolo. Open man is born. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 30 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Garoppolo. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Draw play, Garoppolo gives to Mostert. And he'll take this one down near the 15. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And the 49ers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Raheem Mostert with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Gold to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. On the return, Isabella. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
On return, the Cardinals take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Running from the shotgun with Drake. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, Murray. And that's off the mark, incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else with the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Murray. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Take over 1st and 10.
Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
To George Kittle. A gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. This is Mostert. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
To throw is Garoppolo. That's complete to Mostert out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now Mostert. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Here we go. Like 20.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Intended for Kendrick Ward.
So touchdowns on their first 2 drives, but looking like that won't be the case here.
Yeah, it looks like someone put their dukes up a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe decided to finally make a stand because those first 2 drives, they got run over. Now, finally, got their feet under them, got a little bit of balance. They're getting off the field.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. On the return is Kirk. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing again. Murray. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Wide open receiver complete. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Murray now on first down. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Working from the gun, Garoppolo got the connection here to Bourne. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Garoppolo on first down. Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And now Garoppolo lost the football.
The pass. A fumble on the play.
Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Here we go. 180! Watch the slip!
On third down, here comes Mostert. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. 16. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports halftime report. All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everybody to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Here's Richie James on the return. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
At their own 26.
Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Garoppolo. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Garoppolo to his tight end Kittle for a Niner first down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Mostert. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Ball carrier.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Garoppolo going to give to Mostert. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now Garoppolo and the Niners will come up and go for 2. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 20.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Right back to Drake. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun now from Murray. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as he'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now Drake. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Murray now. And that's incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Roughing the passer defense.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. Operating from the gun. Murray over the middle, complete. That's Williams. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a draw play with Drake. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, Murray. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Murray steps away to his left. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run with Edmonds, and he fights his way in, not giving up, and it's a Cardinal touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Cardinals cut into that lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it was capped off by the Chase Edmonds touchdown run. after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Now James returning. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Niners take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the third, and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the 30 on second down, Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you got a battle on your hands.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
2nd and 10 here as we roll along in quarter number 3 from Santa Clara.
56 is mine. 56 is mine.
To throw again, Murray. Throw left side complete. It's Drake. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Murray now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Murray to air it out again. Blitz coming, and down he goes. pass rusher extraordinaire, D. Ford that time, getting the sack.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. They put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Murray. He may try and run for this.
Murray on the keeper.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They're going for it. Hits Murray. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A good 1st down call as the screenplay gets him 9.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, Murray got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. Steps away. And he's going to keep it here. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
From the gun, Murray. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kyler Murray with a touchdown throw to DeAndre Hopkins. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Gonzalez to add the PAT. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Return. The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 27.
The 49ers getting set to trot out there. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And some room to work. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert, 69 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Now, you talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. It starts out coaches screaming, tackle him, get him. And after that last touchdown, I bet it's pure silence on that side of the ball.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Return. The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
The Cardinal offense takes back over. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Caught left side, Hopkins. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the 1st down to go along with it.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there, and he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Murray. And he'll go underneath here to Drake. That catch good for only a couple.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Looking to throw again on second down. Murray, he's going to take off with it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting him.
0.
First down, Murray. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 17-yard line.
From the gun, Murray. They'll roll him out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. It'll be Murray on the keeper, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of 2 there, second down.
No question, he's so dangerous down here near the goal line. The safeties, they have to be involved in run support against a quarterback like this, and in turn, they're going to ask their teammates to be involved as well.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Operating from the gun, Murray. This is caught, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Kenyon Drake. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And the lead is down to a field goal now. That time a 9-play drive. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Here's James. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Raheem Mostert and the Niner offense getting the football back. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone, that's That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That's into the hands of Dwelly. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
A 3-yard pickup.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, Mostert. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. To throw is Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Kyler Murray now in the Cardinal offense. Down 31-28. A minute 45 to play. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Murray to throw. Flushed out right. He'll run it. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Hey, simple.
He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now Murray. He goes underneath the Drake. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. They'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards. It's first down.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know. I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Here's Murray from midfield. He dumps it off to Drake. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.